My name is Carson. Welcome to Thrifty Garage, a channel where we do everyday repairs, how-tos, and reviews. And in today's video, we're fixing the sewer. We've got a break in our sewer line where it connects into the main for the city. Going to be digging this up and reconnecting in a new spot. So we'll show you a little bit around and tell you more about what's going on. Viewer beware, you're going to see some gray water or black water. So here we've got our sewer cleanout. You have to have these located every 150 feet, I believe. So this one had to be placed here, even though it's pretty close in proximity to the manhole lid here. This is 150 feet from the last sewer cleanout up by the house. So we're out here by the street and we're getting ready to do some work here. So we had a company come out. I jetted this out, ran a snake about 80 feet, and they only rolled them to get this far, and they were running into gravel. We recently had some new construction going on here, and the neighbors tapped a new connection here with a Y going their direction, and they stubbed out a little bit further. So we're going to connect onto that. You can see here where their excavation was. We got a little bit of sloughing occurring here. I decided to install some T-posts and some orange netting fence since we're working so close to the road here. I also threw down a handful of cones out in the street to just keep people aware that I was working there. I didn't have any big road closed signs or road work ahead signs, but I did have that fencing, which gave me a huge peace of mind working that close to the street. On this project, I decided to dig this up by hand. It just made more sense to me. A lot of different things going on here. Just pick it up a little bit.
Okay, and just do that.
Okay, we're good. Spent the morning digging, had to run to a meeting. Just getting back at it again. I got my mud shoes on, my mud pants back on. So here we've got our pipe. So far, what we found is we found a repair splice there, a repair splice here. I haven't found another one there, but I'm assuming there's another one down here. This pipe above here is green, and I swear going down there it's white. So I'm guessing we've got another repair splice in here. We've got more concrete. I did find out that the city required them to put this on their repair joints, so we'll go ahead and keep digging and do what we can. So this trench is pretty apparent to me where the edge of it is, where it's settling, especially right here. You can see kind of squared off. This was the end of their trench, so they could connect on here. This was all exposed dirt. It's all been pulled up. It's not native, so it's pretty easy digging in here. Pretty loose and soft. We just got a lot of rain, so that's I don't know if that's helping or hurting things, but it's going. Got quite a bit of settling underneath here. Good sized chunk of concrete or asphalt right there. Quite the hole here. That got a sinkhole back there. It's hard to see. Man, that has settled probably 6 or 8 inches, maybe even 10 inches in spots. And I can easily fit my whole hand down here underneath the road. Looks like it's been pretty wet, especially right there. Okay, so we've got a connection right there. Got a connection right there. And I don't know how far this one goes. And this pipe changes elevation here. Got a little bit of a dip here. I read this earlier. I have not exposed anything below the pipe, but we are pretty dang close to level. Maybe sloping a little bit downhill, just a tiny bit. So this section goes that way. This is where all our settling is. So you would think that this pipe wouldn't be higher here, it would be lower if it's been settling, so that's kind of odd. Looks like this is where the main spot where it's settled, which does make sense to me because this is the main spot where they excavated. And if we pull the level over on this side, we are super good. We have mega drop. Just a ton of drop to there. So again, this section of pipe looks like it really settled in. This one was probably an inch higher, and then it's settled since they backfilled. At this point, we're in it to win it, and it's just time to dig, and keep digging. We found our pipe down about 3 foot, and we know the new connection where we're going is about 6 feet down. I thought this was pretty funny. You can see the writing from the rubber Febco fitting impressed into the concrete. Just a fun little find. We got gravel. We're about 4 feet down. I'm gonna guess that pipe's about the height of my shovel. So we got a little ways to go. Around to their pipe, there's a bunch of gravel, so as we dig, there's a lot of sloughing off occurring. So here's our nightly progress report. This is 1 day of digging. Didn't quite get down there. About 6 feet down is where that connection is. Got this pipe exposed. So we'll need to tap in here, 45, go down and over, and then tie into there somewhere. So this keeps sloughing off. Quite a bit of digging left. Okay, we got our grounding wire here. Got that buried through here. Let's look at that pipe. So we're all done up, hooked up good. Gotta wait for the inspector to come out and take a look at this. A little bit of a collapse underneath here. This is where all the sewer water was running. It was into this ground right here and pulling sediment out. Okay, well, this has been a little bit of a problem. Had the city inspector come out, did not pass inspection. They want a saddle on there. This is a saddle. You got basically a huge hose clamp that goes over top of this, attaches to the pipe. You've got these little rubber ribs that seal against the pipe. The city did want this clean out cover, since it's out close to the street. So bought that. That was about $100, 110 I think. We got our tracer wire, and then down in the hole here, I got this dug back out again. Here is that tap that our neighbors did. So they tapped into the manhole with a core drill, like an 8-inch or 9-inch, whatever, core drill into there, stuffed their pipe in through there, and somehow sealed it in there. And there's just a small section of, you can see kind of the bell end here. Their pipe probably comes out right here, so about 4, maybe 6 inches. And then they've got looks like some sort of street fitting. So it's got a female coupler on this end, and then a male end on this end with a cap on that fitting. And then their line tees off right there, 4-inch line going that way. So this is a 4-inch hole saw going into the pipe here with this inserted tee. So the plumber told me it was called. And basically you stick that rubber piece in first, and then you shove the green pipe in, and that fitting, the rubber piece has little ribs on it, which prevent it from being pulled out. So you can see here we've got this little rib. There's a rib on the top, a rib inside, and then when you slide that pipe in, that makes a really tight fitting, and then that can't be pulled out because of the way that is. And then this has a hose clamp on here to hold this in place. And then this is just a fitting that converts from this size up to Schedule 40 PVC. And then the Schedule 40 PVC, there's a rubber piece right here that seals it. So that's just inserted in there. So the city, per code, wants a saddle on here. The problem with putting a saddle on here is we've got this cap right here, and we've got this fitting right there. The saddle comes out about this far, and so on neither side would it be flat. You couldn't actually seal it in place. So the city inspector, I sent him some photos. Now that I've got this dug up, he's taking it to the city engineer to see if we can get some direction, get approval to keep it this way, which is what I'm hoping for, or some other direction. He did say that this is supposed to be on a 45-degree angle coming off of this pipe. This one is coming in at grade, but because we're coming in from above, he said that you're not supposed to come in at a 90 like this. You're supposed to come in at a 45, but he said since the hole's already drilled, he was going to let it slide. Coming up here, he also said this was not per code to have a 90. He said you're supposed to have 245s or a long 90, which I actually think this is a long 90. Okay, here's that long 90, and size it up here, and it's indeed a match. So I think we're good with this guy. They did also want a zinc grounding rod, so I need to pound this guy in, and then I guess I connect that wire to this other one. Ford just had this little piece of rebar, so I'll need to hook that up, and then we should be good there. At this point, unfortunately, we lost battery on the camera, but pretty much just wrapping up the project. Used the Bobcat skid steer to backfill the trench with gravel, put 4.5 tons of clean rock in to backfill with. That was about the perfect amount. Brought it pretty close to grade, covered my pipe and my neighbor's pipe, and then also stuffed it underneath the roadway where we had that sloughing off occurring. So everything's backfilled now, all covered up. Used the skid steer to drive over top of this and compact it back into place, and we're all good to go. City inspector passed it, and the water's flowing. That's really what matters.